Oh boy. Crazy slate today. I mean, Yusuf Nurkic was the man.
Dude, you ain't lying.
He was the man. What was it? 55 DraftKings points.
Is that what he had? Is that
Unreal,
what he
man.
finished with?
Yep. Second highest score to Russell Westbrook on the whole slate.
I,
Yeah, his
I,
roll is 37 minutes today, man.
I don't know who would have projected that, dude. I sure as hell didn't. As
Another big takeaway from this slate, in my opinion, even though Steph Curry, he didn't make it to 50, but he possessed a 40% usage rate in this game. Um, Obviously, this was a close game for them, trying to fight back and win. And it's something that I'm looking at going forward is his role in this offense.
something I think that I've completely determined is giving up on centers. I'm probably just going to stop talking about them completely. I said that,
Just have a different center in every lineup for you.
dude. So I used the
Maybe you'll get
optimals.
one right.
I used the optimals today, and
Did I say something? I'm not generally a funny guy, but
no, Theo was the first comment, and he said, "I just woke up." I don't know why that made me
dedication
laugh.
right there. Yeah, it's
Uh,
really late, so if you guys are listening to us or watching, um, the next day, we we were discussing some business pretty much all night, and we lost track of time.
yeah, we've been on a
So I
conference call.
apologize to our live viewers
We've been on a conference call with the admins for the last 4 hours.
for a
So
while.
yeah, we've been. Trust me, it's all good stuff. We're game planning how we're gonna move things forward.
Mhm.
So I apologize, but yeah, man, center is not my position. I said Robin Lopez was a good play. I said Steven Adams was a good play. Combined, they had 22 points, and then Nurkic had 55.
Yeah, I mean it was a crazy slate again. I mean, like I said, maybe it's a new strategy for you. You just play the same lineup with a different center in it, and hopefully you'll get one of them right.
Yeah, dude. That hey, for the second night in a row though, it's got to happen tomorrow. It's got to. Late night slate again. The optimal got me second place in a GPP. So 2 nights in a row, got second place in a GPP with the optimal. So
And you put out a late slate optimals um, during the day, right?
yeah, they were early, like 11 o'clock.
Right. Yeah. So there's not just optimals for the main slate; they're for every slate.
Yeah, every slate. And for what it's worth, I just got to say this because I love it. Taj Gibson was in almost every single optimal today. And guess who
Mm-hmm.
guess who
People
balled
are
out?
sleeping on them.
Yep, Taj Gibson balled out. So here's what I've determined. Power forwards, I don't miss on. Centers, I never hit on. So don't listen to me when it comes to centers. And if you're going to listen to me at all, listen to me at power forwards. That's apparently my strength. So I've determined that. And
Let's
then
talk about Ennis Cantor because he's a center on DraftKings. So
that's true. Ennis Cantor is different. Ennis Cantor is mine forever. Mike doesn't get to touch him.
yeah, Taj Gibson had the same amount of points as Ennis Cantor today. 33 DraftKings points. Both had pretty good games. We also saw, a somewhat consistent game from T.J. Warren. He saw he could, in limited minutes, he could still put up 30. Marvin Williams almost had 30. We talked about him. And even Michael Kidd Gilchrist, looking at that power forward spot, like I said today, um, they both had nice games. What worked for me today is that I had like a streaming spot at my guards, and I played some Damian Lillard, I played some Kemba Walker, and they actually both had the same amount of points. So um, that was the point guard stack on FanDuel for sure.
Kemba and Russ, man, those two went off. Those were definitely the plays.
And
I
Dame,
Yeah, I had Dame as well. Dame had 45, Kemba had 48, and Russ had how many? 60, 58?
66 on DraftKings. What I say about Tyler Eulis though, people started call me crazy.
How many points
25
did he have?
DraftKings points. 25 DraftKings points at minimum salary. He
Uh,
was the
Patrick
guy.
Patrick McCaw, David
Hmm.
West. To add on to my centers, I said Allen Williams would be a bust today.
Yeah, that didn't work out for you, did it?
No, not at all. I hope you guys didn't listen to me.
This game out of Bobby Portis, I watched most of this game, and this game turned me into somewhat of a believer with Bobby Portis. I mean,
Oh, here we go.
maybe the balls tend to find him. I don't know, but this is going to be a crapshoot for the rest of the year, in my opinion.
So where are you looking?
Between him and Mirotic.
I was just going to say, so what are you going to look at with Mirotic?
I don't know, man. I think I might just fade it all together and just eat performances like this, you know.
Yeah. Patrick McCaw, he wasn't on my radar at all. Shame on me. I just wasn't going to fall for that.
I mean, the track record is there. I mean, wasn't your fault. Logically speaking, it's a fine logic, that performance.
Yeah. Jimmy Butler had a really nice bounce back game. I think he ended up with 48 FanDuel points, if I'm not mistaken. So, really nice game there. Who else did really well? Klay Thompson did terrible.
Yeah, he's in a rough stretch.
Telling you, man. Those... What? Should try to show before lock, if that can get worked out. I'm not sure what that means.
So what now?
I don't know. There's a comment. Should try to show before lock, if that can get... I don't know what that means. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, no lock show today. This is my last day of class. There'll be a lock show going forward unless there's some sort of something going on in my life.
What
We're talking about underperformers. Wade and Rondo, they both underperform.
Rondo got 3 fouls quick, so he was out. I mean, that kind of hurt him. Klay, those road home splits were real, man.
Klay underperformed. Kaminsky and Chris both left the game early.
Cody Zeller had a really nice game as well tonight.
And that has a lot to do with Kaminsky.
He got some some run at the end, but
yeah, Steven Adams, he was the big underperformer today out of everybody.
Yeah, he was 1% owned in my GPP, and I had him.
You were that guy.
I was that guy. Jay had David West at 0.11% owned. He was the only guy.
However, it wasn't all bad. I mean, like you said, you got second in a GPP using an optimal. I'm sure.
Second night in a row.
I haven't been in a Slack group yet. Have you seen any other winnings?
Oh yeah,
amongst group members.
Yeah. So let me shout these out real quick. Because again, the Phenoms are cashing. It's every night now. Let me shout out. So Nacio Moore, frequent winner, 47 into 158. Sean Bang, hockey. So hockey is still popping on Slack. Telling you guys, if basketball is not your thing right now, hop into hockey. Winning every night in there.
Just to jump off that, I didn't win any money on DraftKings playing basketball today. I end up hedging my bet with hockey. My hockey line brought me almost back to break even. So I'm not dumb when it comes to hockey. I hold my own.
Yep. We had John Hill took 14th out of 29,000 in the 25K SWAT. Turned $1 into 100. Great ROI right there.
That's what it's all about, man. $1 into 100. I've been there.
Ariston had a profitable night. I think he turned $1 into 15. So when you look at ROI, that's huge.
The night I turned $1 into 100 was the night I won that water bottle.
Yeah, that water bottle. That was great. And then I'd have to check and see if there's anything else on Slack. But anyways, regardless, man. You know what? It's just like I said, man. Every night someone's cashing.
That's right. So speaking of some winners, obviously we're going to go straight into the contest. Yep, that's right. A lot of people inquiring about the contest, and so yeah, we started these NBA contests a long time ago. I know we got a lot of new viewers, a lot of new people in the contest, so it might seem like it's hard to catch up. But if you're in the Slack group, I think I only posted it in there today. Did I post it? I might have posted it on Facebook as well. We posted the power rankings. Now, the DraftKings one's been going on since December, so it may be tough to jump in now and, kind of get to the top of there.
Hey,
but,
hold on, let me interject real quick. Even if you don't stand a chance at winning, you're going to see guys that are up there, and it's a great lineup advice tool, right? So look at who the guys that are winning, who they're rostering, and you can tell who they are, right? Because they're all in the Slack group. So you'll have an idea of who each person is, and you can get advice from them. So there's
you can kind of learn from in that regard. Yeah, and even saying that, even on FanDuel though, I mean, FanDuel's up for grabs, man. It really is right now. I mean, if you look at the top 10 scores, you get 10 points for getting first, and I think the top person has 28. So you place in the top 5 3 times over the next month, you're in the top 8, and you're going to be playing for the prize. So get in there today on DraftKings. It was B3. I think he's going for Beaner 617. I've seen him up top before. It's the first time in a while, so hopefully you're back on it, man. His top 2 scorers, he had Nurkic in his utility spot, so he went Nurkic and Kanter, and then he had Lillard as well. There's no obvious stack in here either that I'm seeing, so kind of just play the guys he liked and
go from there.
Pay it off for him, obviously. Well, he had Lillard, Harkless, and Nurkic, so I guess you can go and say that was a stack. He faded Westbrook. Oh yeah, man! I like this lineup you made. His lineup was 302.25. That was DraftKings first place. On FanDuel, it was It's the Kid, and I think this might be a second top 5 finish this week for It's the Kid. His line was a 305.6 on FanDuel. He did have Westbrook, and then had Nurkic at center locked in. Man, he got first with Mirotic giving him 12 and Lamb giving him 9, so he kind of
he carried
just one of those slates, man.
Yeah, carried a lot of dead weight right there.
Yeah.
Get that transitioned over. Web app. All right, man. We got 10 games tomorrow. 10 games.
Nice. I like 10 games.
A lot of games to look forward to. Web
Well,
app.
preview the slate.
What do you got? Let's hear it.
So, I mean, a lot of these spreads are close as of right now. Other than the Utah-Brooklyn game and the Boston-Lakers game, every game is within 5-point spread. And that's a lot that's 8 games, you know? And there really aren't any significant over-unders to look at. Obviously, you have Memphis and Dallas, so that's one you don't want to look at. Over-under's at 190. And if you look at the last game they played, it was on November 18th. Memphis won the game 80-64 in Dallas. So that's just, gross.
Ew.
And, highest over/under on the slate as of right now and recording obviously is the 220 in LA with Boston, and then just to highlight a few. It's 225, the OKC Phoenix one. So everything's pretty even. There's no real games that stand out amongst the rest except for that Memphis Dallas game in a bad way. And then if you want to consider the Utah Brooklyn game because of that 13.5 point spread, you can. Strategy plays into that as well.
Yeah, buddy. All right, let's start with this Toronto-Washington game. Can't stand Theo. John Wall against Toronto. No Kyle Lowry. Obviously Corey Joseph. In Washington, I think you got to look there. 9,900.
Yeah, so these two teams just played 2 days ago. This is a home and home if you want to use hockey. I think it's hockey that does home and homes a lot. Him and DeRozan both kind of underperformed in this game. I actually just watched it, but it was a blowout, man.
It was.
Don't let the score. It was a 105-96 was the scoring at the end, so it was a 9-point game at the end. But that whole second half was a complete blowout. There's a lot of garbage time. So you can't really look at that box score as a barometer. If it's any consolation, John Wall had 61 DraftKings points in the first meeting. But, I don't know, I could see this being a blowout again in Washington.
I agree with you. I mean, who's besides DeRozan? I think someone to look out for just to get away from point guards. Serge Ibaka plays a lot of center, and PJ Tucker plays the entire fourth quarter. So that puts Serge at
seems
center.
like Dwayne Casey's Dwayne Casey's trying to find any reason not to play JV, in my opinion. This has been happening all year. But then again, Serge Ibaka's new to this team. So maybe they're still trying to figure it all out.
But Serge, I think, is the play if you're going to play a big man from this game.
Right. His minutes are going to be safe, I think.
Stay away from Valanciunas is, I think, the theory there.
But yeah, getting back to John Wall, I think the thing is with him is that if this game stays close, I think the upside is there. Yeah, the upside is there, and he's going to go off. But again, without any Lowry and with, big usage for Ibaka and them not knowing what to do with their front court and people trying to, you got Powell, Delon Wright, Corey Joseph all trying to, pretty much compete with each other for these minutes down the stretch here. It's all kind of jumbled up. Practice probably is. Everything really is.
I think, sorry, just made me think of something. I hate to get on tangents, but one thing I really want to caution you guys about as well is there's a lot of talk about, after the All-Star break, everything gets better. Man, if anything, it's gotten weirder, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that, you have your teams that are completely out of it, right? They're going to play all these young guys. A lot of these games are unpredictable at this point, man, in terms of who's going to play. So I caution you guys on how much you're going to put down on these slates. So it can look really nice on paper, but you got to remember, some of these games are going to end in blowouts because they're just playing young guys. And with that said, you don't know who's going to get the minutes and, where the points are going to come from. So I just caution you guys, just really look out. The games are not going to get... The only time the games are going to get more competitive are really down the stretch. Probably that last couple weeks where teams are pushing for playoffs. Or if you know that there's two playoff teams playing. But when you see Phoenix playing, don't expect them to put out their A lineup, right? Because they don't know what that is. They're rolling out young guys. So, again, I just caution you. That's all I can say.
And that being said, just backing up that's kind of why targeting these floor projections is important going forward, because right now more than ever, floor and minutes consistency
are key.
Are key stats to look at when you're building your lineups. As far as cash, definitely for cash. That's something you look at all year, but even for GPPs now, minutes consistency is going to be huge. Going down the stretch.
Look at how low the cash lines are. On an 11-game slate, the cash lines were in the 240s. So I think it's safe to say build your lineups around floors right now until things kind of square out. If they do, build around floors. So Brandon Jennings probably will play tomorrow. Is that something you're looking at?
No, I'm looking at that from the perspective of these Washington starters. And these are guys that as far as minutes consistency, people we've targeted all year for big minutes.
Exactly.
Even with the usage of less than 17, we've been playing Otto Porter because he plays big minutes. Now that their bench is getting deeper with Bogdanovich and now Jennings coming in the mix. I don't know. I feel like that's something you got to consider now when you're playing these Washington starters.
Yeah, Bogdanovich is definitely in play tomorrow now. So.
Yeah, Bogdanovich got a lot of run in garbage time the last few games.
Super narrative street right here, if you really want to go there. Drew Holiday, because of the tornadoes, has said that he will pledge and donate $1,000 for every point and assist he gets in tomorrow's game.
Interesting.
I know we don't like Drew Holiday with Boogie and AD, but super narrative right there, man. Obviously playing for something important.
Yeah, it's not someone I looked at, really. His price is...
it's not an ideal situation or price.
Interesting.
But
no, I like that you brought that up.
So, again, just something to think about. For those of you that are really big on narratives, it's there.
If you factor in my fantasy point projection plus minus, New Orleans has a minus 28.5, which is one of the highest I've seen since I started doing it.
Russell Westbrook is 13,000 tomorrow. God.
Yeah.
The matchup is juicy, though, against Phoenix. Both teams have played tonight, so that back-to-back doesn't really worry me. I don't know, man. I think in this game, if I'm going to go a point guard, I think I'm going to go Eric Bledsoe.
See, the back-to-back does somewhat worry me for Russell Westbrook. I mean, obviously this dude is wired like a freaking robot.
Yeah, he's
But I mean, when you're considering spending half of your or a quarter of your DraftKings salary on a guy, little things like that on a 10-game slate is almost enough. Now, I will say, I mean, the dude just had a 40-point triple-double against Utah, so
yeah.
anything can happen.
No,
Anything can
Westbrook is
happen with him, and if he
inhumane.
could do that against Utah, he could do it against anybody. So there's really no logic or really analysis that goes behind Russell Westbrook, man.
Nah, it's just, I mean, if you play him, you have a safe floor at the very least. So
You have to be real sharp with your value on this slate.
you do.
Yeah, you want your value to really get to 8x if you're playing Russell Westbrook today.
Derrick Rose against Philadelphia, I think you can look there. Not my favorite play. TJ McConnell, I think is I don't want to say he's a fade, but I don't think I go there on this slate.
TJ McConnell made my player pool. Derrick Rose did not. I'm looking at both D'Angelo Russell and George Hill over Rose.
You always gotta
In that
steal
price
my.
range.
You always gotta steal my damn thunder, man. Russell was my favorite play again, but here you go,
Don't be sad, man. I'm on Russell too. I think it's
bro. I
I
got
think I like it.
point guards and power forwards. It's my shit. You
What's
got.
his price? What's his price on FanDuel, Russell?
I don't know. I haven't got there yet.
All right, well, let's go to TJ. I mean, you just passed over him. I think
He's 64.
so. So you got Tyler Johnson at 52, TJ McConnell at 54, and Elfrid Payton at 55. Where are you going?
Tyler Johnson.
I agree. In cash, in tournaments, I think I could go ballsy and play Elf.
Yeah, you can. I mean, it's tournament play for sure. But I like Tyler Johnson tomorrow, especially against Orlando. Good play there.
I like Tyler Johnson if Deion Waiters doesn't play tomorrow. He's listed as questionable with an ankle injury. I think it's the same ankle injury that had bothered him earlier this year. So the fact that he was upgraded or not downgraded to questionable with the recurring injury.
That's worrisome, yeah. Especially with I don't think they play him tomorrow.
Magruder's on the list. It's probable with a quad bruise, so that's kind of leaving them somewhat limited at the guard position. I mean, they have Richardson and Ellington as well, but
So here's what I think, right? If Waiters is out, you got to look at Wayne Ellington tomorrow.
Yeah, you do. I think if Waiters is out, Ellington and both Johnsons are firmly in play in this matchup.
Yep. And remember, Tyler Johnson closes every game for the Heat, so he's going to get his fourth quarter run. Mike Conley against Dallas is a safe fade for me. Same with Yogi Ferrell. And no one else.
Game.
No one else there. The Clippers in Milwaukee. Chris Paul's definitely in play. 9,600 is a little expensive, but I mean, Chris Paul's proven that he can get you worth that price tag.
I think Chris Paul will be sneaky, man. Coming off a somewhat subpar performance with sandwiched in between John Wall and Isaiah Thomas, both in good spots. I wasn't really looking at all at Chris Paul, but I think I can get behind it.
You definitely got to look there. I think when you look at the other point guards in his price range, I think the other guys will go higher owned. I think Isaiah Thomas will be high owned. John Wall will be higher owned, yeah. Malcolm Brogdon is a sneaky play. He's been playing well. He had a bad last game, but before that, 2 of his best games of the year. So, something to look at.
He hit value last game. It wasn't like he had a bad game, but in reference to what I thought he was going to do, yeah. His price hopped up big time. It's almost a $500 price rise on DraftKings. So against Chris Paul, I think it's an easy fade for me, especially with who else we got in that mix.
Well, I think it depends if he starts or not, but I agree. If he doesn't start, I like him a lot coming off that bench. I like him more coming off the bench than him starting because he's going to get less of Chris Paul defense and more of Austin Rivers, Raymond Felton.
That's true. I don't think this game is close either, so.
Yeah, that's true as well. So, I mean, it's probably a good fade, but just something to keep an eye on. Kyrie Irving against Atlanta definitely can look there, 9,000. I think Kyrie probably has a better matchup, and I would say pretty similar ceiling in Florida, Chris Paul with no Kevin Love. So, I think I would safely take Irving over Chris Paul, but if you're one of those guys that really factors in ownership, then Chris Paul will probably be the less owned guy.
Yeah, I'm debating for my cash lineup. Kyrie's coming off Kyrie's last game was the first time he didn't get to 40 in every game in his last 10. He's been getting to 40 very consistently, and for that reason alone, with LeBron on the floor in a good matchup for LeBron, I think he's somewhat of a cash play. But then I'm like comparing him. I think I could take the $1,000 of saving or the $900 savings from Isaiah Thomas and play Kyrie in cash today and feel pretty good about it.
I agree with you. I like Isaiah. I'm sorry, I like Kyrie. I like both, but
I think they're both solid cash considerations, but I think I'd take the $900 savings and feel okay.
The other one you can look at, man, he returned a lot in some optimals, is Dennis Schroeder. Makes sense.
Yeah, and obviously he's just a tournament play. I don't really feel comfortable about him at all. I don't know. I think I'd rather play George Hill against Brooklyn, and I think I would rather play Elfrid Payton in tournaments than I would Dennis Schroeder. What about you? Elf over Schroeder or no?
I think I go Schroeder, actually.
I guess it depends if C.J. Watson is active or not, whether or not I'm high on Elf.
That too. I just think the pace is up. I think Schroeder probably gets a little more, I don't want to say usage, but I just think he's more involved. So I look more at Schroeder over Elf. I think it's probably a little safer too.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not like by a wide margin,
No, I agree with you completely. Isaiah Thomas, D'Angelo Russell. I love those two. You'll probably see me with a lineup with those two in it tomorrow.
I think so too.
LA, I mean, again, this number is kind of skewed because they have played Russell Westbrook in the last 5. But on the year, it's no joke that they're a bad team against point guards. And I love everything about this game from a lot of position standpoints. So
I just went back and watched this game. Isaiah Thomas had 38 real life points in this game, and really didn't do much peripherally wise. I mean, he had like 2 rebounds and 3 assists. But when he goes off, like when he's just driving to the hoop like he was in this game and just like hitting high percentage shots, getting to the bucket, I mean, there's really no paint presence to stop him. And their perimeter defense is suspect at best. So when he's just scoring at will, I think it kind of opens up some assist and rebound numbers for Marcus Smart. What do you think?
Marcus Smart or Avery Bradley?
Well, I'm going to stick with Marcus Smart just because I know he's going to get his minutes. I mean, for both.
I don't know, man. Avery Bradley played down the stretch. So did Marcus Smart, but Avery Bradley is clearly...
Yeah, they play together.
Avery Bradley is back, man.
No, he is.
So
okay, we'll just say both then. I think it opens up some peripheral for the other guards, and I mean, going against the Lakers' backcourt, I think all of these guards are in consideration.
Avery,
as well as Isaiah Thomas.
Damn it, what was I thinking? Avery's price also went down on FanDuel, for what it's worth. Makes sense on a bigger slate, but just something to keep in mind.
Again, I think they're going to continue. This isn't going to be a quick, a quick rise in minutes. I think he's going to sit at 15 for a while. He's going to sit at 20 for a while. They got
no reason to rush him. Exactly.
They got no reason to rush him. So I don't see his minutes is on uptick. He's going to play 30 Chris Middleton, for example. I mean, I don't see them doing that.
And here's the other thing: is Brad Stevens came out, and no, this isn't me being a Jaylen lover, but Brad Stevens came out and said, Jaylen Brown has earned his spot in this rotation, and he's going to play. So that further cements me thinking along the lines of you of Avery Bradley's in no rush. Like, they have literally zero incentive to rush him when they've been doing well with Jaylen and Marcus. So.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Boston covets Jaylen Brown over Marcus Smart?
I think eventually they're going to have to make a decision. And I
know. It's kind of where I'm leading.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you're going to have to make a decision, especially if they end up drafting.
They win the lottery.
Yeah, if they win a lottery and they get their pick, I don't think you don't take Lonzo Ball, and then you're going to have to get rid of a guard, man. You can't keep all those guards.
Yep, I agree.
DeRozan, obviously, I mean, he's in play. 9,900, still steep on FanDuel, man. DraftKings a little more rosterable.
So I ran into the kind of play, like the DeRozan versus Kawhi call when I was doing my early lineup building. Same price, pretty much. Yeah, $100 cheaper for Kawhi.
I like Bradley Beal more in this game, actually.
Yeah, I like the two. Shooters at home. I think John Wall is in a good on-court matchup with no Kyle Lowry.
I mean, yeah. I agree. Don't hate me for this play, but I think you can go. You can look at Manu again. Actually, no. I'm gonna not on a 10-game slate. Never mind. Forget I said that. Don't look at Manu tomorrow.
No, there's not much to look at here at shooting guard. I considered Booker.
I
think I'd rather play. I think I'd rather play Beal.
Yep.
The next guy I kind of dropped to was Fournier. I think I want to play one of these Orlando guys between Elfrid Payton, Fournier, and Vucevic. I want to try and pinpoint one.
Who is it?
Between Elf, Fournier, and Vooch.
Probably.
I think they've all got. I both think they all possess a significant upside in this game, and they're all significantly underpriced, in my opinion.
I'm looking at Vooch. Miami on the road is terrible versus centers. They're worse versus Hassan Whiteside. DVP is worse on the road than it is at home, and in Orlando.
They've all played well against Miami in the 3 games this year. Granted, one of those was a double overtime game, but
yeah,
still.
I like Vooch the most. Courtney Lee against Philly. I think you could look there. Philly's terrible against shooting guards this year, and I mean his price is a little high at 5,000. But
yeah, it's too high for me at 47 even. I think looking at Justin Holiday as a punt in this game. On the other side of the ball, Jared Henderson is listed as questionable. He did not play last game, and we saw an extended run for Cabarrot, I believe. I think for both Stauskas and Cabarrot. I'm not necessarily looking at either. But
it was also a blowout, though.
Yeah, no, but I'm not looking at either. So this game wasn't a blowout. This New York Philly game was actually a buzzer beater.
Yeah. You're talking. No, I'm talking last game that Henderson didn't play. Cabarrot played, but it was a blowout all game against Miami.
Right.
Philly got blown out.
I got you. Yeah, that's right.
There was another play that I had in mind. I'm trying to remember who the hell it was. With Henderson out. Oh, Justin Anderson. Watch for Justin Anderson.
Mm-hmm. No, I can get behind that.
Dion Waiters.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some fantasy love in this game, but both of these teams, it's like, oh, man, who knows?
Dion Waiters, questionable, as Mike mentioned. I lean more towards doubtful, but I'm no beat writer or injury report specialist or doctor, anything like that.
We'll get this news before lock, though, so that's good.
True that. Justin Anderson was the guy they traded Nerlens Noel for.
Right. Yeah, he's a talented guy.
He is, and he should get run. Speaking
of, like, this lock injury, if you're building lineups on DraftKings, I urge you, if you have anybody that's in question or you have an injury pivot that's in your lineup and then the player that plays in front of them decides that they're going to play, make sure you build your lineup with that person in their utility spot so that you can easily pivot to any position. I think people don't realize that enough. It's very important.
It is. Mike just said Richardson. Does he get a bump?
Josh Richardson?
Josh Richardson.
Yeah, well, I like Josh Richardson's game, but the thing is, he hasn't been playing much.
Yeah, I think Wayne Ellington gets the biggest bump.
Yeah, they've been giving Ellington more run, but like you said, last game was a blowout, and I don't see them rushing Richardson back either. I think they covet Richardson more than they do Waiters even or Ellington. Like, I think those guys are all disposable parts, whereas Josh Rich was a guy that they brought up themselves, you know.
Mm-hmm. Seth Curry against Memphis. I think he's the one guy you can look at, but I'm going to fade him just for his price and other players.
Yeah, Wes Matthews is out again. I read today that Seth Curry gets a +8 usage bump with Wes Matthews out, which is means he goes from like 10 to 18. I don't know.
No, I mean, he's in play just
6K.
because Tony Allen struggles against jump shooters, as we mentioned, but And Seth did well last game, but I don't know, man. I just don't that price tag. I'd rather play Devin Booker against in that OKC game.
I'd rather play pretty much anybody at 6K over the Seth Curry.
We all know how you feel about Seth Curry.
Bold call.
Giannis against LA. I think that's a safe fade for me, which means he's going to go off. The one game that I don't think he's going to be high owned at all tomorrow.
Dude, Giannis is tough to pinpoint. He had 62 DraftKings points against Utah recently, and then last game put up 35 against Denver. So it's like,
where do you go?
He is a real, where do you go with him? I don't know. I mean, this is seemingly a bad matchup, just like Utah would seemingly be a bad matchup, but I think that's why DraftKings just has him at 10K. Like, well, what do we do? I don't know. Let's do 10K.
JJ Redick, I think, is someone you can look at. I like targeting Milwaukee Wings, so JJ is a potential target. Jamal Crawford, maybe. Tim Hardaway is a fade for me. If you really want to buy into narratives, Kyle Korver in Atlanta.
I'll buy into this one. I mean, dude's a vet, getting paid good money, well established, him and his family in Atlanta.
Yep. So there's
I think there's got to be some bad blood. I mean, just from a human perspective, obviously he's a professional, he knows the job, but still, mid-season like that.
I would be thanking them. Like, shit, you're going to send me to play with LeBron to win a championship? Like, thank you.
No, that's true. That's true. But then if you don't want to play narratives, I mean, he played in Atlanta for a long time, hit a shitload of threes in that arena.
Oh, yeah.
Goes back to the same comfortable in. So
I was just going to say,
3-point shooters are all about superstition and being comfortable. So, I mean, he had like 5 points against Boston last game. Really fucked screwed. Sorry. Screwed one of my lines up. So I'm down.
I saw something on Isaiah Thomas, just to narrative. They did I don't know how much stock you put into that sports science stuff that they talk about, but he shoots on average like 28 feet away from the basket, which is I think 3 feet farther than the 3-point line, in order to avoid his shots getting blocked, which is crazy because his what's it called? The room for error is so much smaller the farther away you shoot, right? So just another level on Isaiah. Just wanted to throw that in there while we were talking about 3-point shooters.
Dude, speaking of 3-point shooters, man, I was watching the Syracuse-Louisville this weekend, and, oh, man, what the fuck's his name? Battle. I think his name's Tyler Battle for Cuse. He hit the most rainbow three I've ever seen on camera. Like, the cameraman, that was pretty awesome.
And then we have this Brooklyn-Utah game.
Yeah, dude, Brooklyn, they're trying to extend their winning streak, so.
Here we go.
I don't know, you can't sleep on Brooklyn, man.
Here we go. Mike is learning, man. I'm getting him to joke a little more. We're getting the fun side of Mike a little more now, so you can start.
No, I was telling Kyle, I think there's viewers that like my sense of humor.
No, for sure. I was just saying, no one can ever tell when you're serious or not. So
no, it's a problem in a daily life for me. I'll admit to that. But yeah, no, I think Brooklyn, trying to put 2 wins together on the road here. The Nets, they're calling it their circus road trip. Really lame title to even put a title on it, but that's what they're doing. So, I don't know. Lynn is back, man. He closed the game. He only played 20 minutes, but his presence has felt. And if I were to read you his stat line, he had 27 DraftKings points, 17, 5, and 2, right?
Uh-huh.
At 4,800, seems reasonable. But then when I tell you he's limited to 20 minutes, it's almost like you're like, I don't know, I can't really play a guy limited to 20 minutes. But I mean, that's a reasonable stat line, and I mean, he's only going to continue to get minutes going forward, and I could somewhat get behind him against Utah. Maybe that's my bias.
So, what about Alec Burks tomorrow?
With Hood out?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think Jingles gets the start and Burks plays 24 minutes and perhaps gets you 25, like upside wise. So minimum salary, yeah.
I think you can look at. I think he's probably blowout proof too, right? He'll play.
Yeah, I think you look there. You're right.
Small forward. So are you looking at Otto?
No, I'm not.
Are you
I'm
looking
never
at
really looking at Otto. His price is dropping, man.
Are you looking at Bogdanovich? 4K on FanDuel. That is
No, I'm
enticing.
not looking at him either.
Well, god damn it, Mike. I love Bogdanovich tomorrow. 4K.
Again,
I
most
like
of his production was in garbage time, so you'd have to. That has to happen again. And then again, I mean, you look at his shooting numbers.
He's a
I
punt
mean, he's
play.
a shooter. He really does not do anything but score. I know this. He's been a 4,400 player starting for the Nets all season long. And where he's getting the similar minutes, so I don't really think. I'm more off of him off the bench.
That's fair.
When
He's a punt play, but he can shooting guards. Small forwards have.
I'm not gonna chase that value, man. That points.
All right, bro. All right.
Definitely not playing DeMar Carroll. That dude can score negative points in 30 minutes. Seriously, it's probably happened.
Him and PJ Tucker. It's great. PJ Tucker played the entire fourth quarter and scored 2 points.
Yeah.
Oh man, Kawhi Leonard against New Orleans. You can definitely look there.
So yeah, Kawhi or who's the other dude? DeRozan. I think I lean DeRozan for the minute safety. I feel like if this game starts to blow out in New Orleans, we could be looking at like a 30-minute game from Kawhi. What do you think?
A 30-minute game?
Yeah, as opposed to I think DeRozan's minutes are
Locked in at like 35.
safer in this matchup.
Oh, DeRozan's are much safer. Yeah, he's got to play.
Yeah, but I mean, Kawhi plays 35, but against New Orleans, I think, we could be looking at the low side of minutes for him. And that could just be the deal breaker. I don't know. I mean, I think these guys are both.
I think he's fairly priced tomorrow with that word.
He is. No, they both are, I think. 89 and 88, I think, are both reasonable prices for these guys. And I like both of them. I
see. I won't play DeRozan on FanDuel, though. 99 is not fairly priced to me. I don't think his upside is there. DeRozan rarely will get you 50 points.
Well, we're looking for 50 from DeRozan. He's got 50 in 2 of the last 3, and except for the only one he didn't was because of the blowout.
Yeah, but okay, so I can't go there. There's too much other guys that I think have higher upside for their price in terms of a point per dollar.
No, but I'm saying if you're just comparing chances to get to 50 for the same price on DraftKings with DeRozan and Kawhi.
Oh, DeRozan.
Like gut reaction.
DeRozan.
It's tough. It really is. And I think I look at the matchup against New Orleans. It's a good matchup. But Kawhi's coming off a 31-10 game versus Indy. So
I think even with that, you talk about floors, and I think DeRozan at this point even has the safer floor just because he's the only option.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't say only.
No,
I can't say only. I mean, Serge is there now, but
you can make the same argument for Kawhi, though.
You can. I mean, Kawhi's floor is always safe. That's why we play him. But I don't know. I don't think I.
That's
go
what
either.
I'm saying. It's a tough one for me.
I just think I don't go either. I'm fading both. What about TJ Warren tomorrow? His price dropped down to 54. Obviously, 58 was inflated because of the 3-game slate. Oh, it's back. Actually, still 58 on DraftKings. Wow. But 54 on FanDuel. I don't know, man. Minutes are there.
Yeah, we just talked on the top about minutes consistency. I think his role is pretty straightforward now with no PJ Tucker and really nobody else on the wing. So looking at minutes consistency, I don't necessarily love the matchup for him. Let's see.
I like the pace of the game is where I'm looking at, though.
I don't know. I think it's somewhat of a wash. I think OKC gets the bump in pace. I'm surprised that this is a 4-point spread. Honestly, I thought OKC would be favored by more.
I don't know. I like the points in this game. I think there's going to be enough to go around. Is TJ Warren's limited probably to 30, 35 at the highest ceiling?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His minutes consistency is definitely something to look at, and that price is definitely fair for him. I don't really think there's anybody even below him that I feel comfortable about. I'm somewhat considering jumping back on Terrence Ross because everybody's going to be off of
He's
him
going to be
today.
off of him, yep. I was right there with
That's
you,
just DFS for you, dude. They have one bad game and no one wants to play him.
Dude, it's what have you done for me lately?
So Terrence Ross versus TJ Warren, I think that you're talking cash versus GPP right there.
Melo against Philly. I think I fade that on the row. Yeah. Covington.
Yeah, Melo had a really good game against Philly a couple days ago. And I think without Willie Hernangomez, he becomes pretty much
the option.
But again,
Kristaps had a nice game last game too, though. So, what about same game? It's easier for you to compare them on DraftKings than it is FanDuel. Melo at 75 or Covington at 72.
I go Melo over Covington every day.
Okay. I agree with you at that price point. Right, when the difference is only 300, I think you pay for Melo every time. Price point at 900 is a little trickier.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd rather play Saric over Covington on FanDuel. And I think you can play both. And I might even make the argument I'd rather play Holmes over both.
Holmes is tricky, man. He didn't have anything going until there was a blowout in Miami, so that kind of worries me. I mean, if he gets the minutes, yeah, but I don't know, man.
He's played more minutes than Okafor in each of the last two games. I like his game. I think he's a good rebounder. He's obviously he's almost like a Tristan Thompson type stretch four. You know, he's like a new age center.
I think if you're playing Holmes, though, you got to bank on Okafor getting into either some foul trouble or being really unproductive.
I don't think so. I don't think Okafor is going to play 30 minutes ever.
He won't. He's on the limit. He is, but that's still.
I think worst case scenario they split minutes, right?
Yeah, but it's still. I don't know. It still caps him. I feel like, and that kind of worries me.
No, that would worry me too on a 10-game slate. I agree.
Justin Anderson, we talked about him. Something you definitely got to look at. So
yeah, definitely just a punt though. A minimum salary. So would you rather play Anderson or damn it, who the other minimum salary guy we talked about? Oh, man.
I don't know.
I forgot.
Terrence Ross. Ooh, he's 4,900 though. That's a little. Yeah, that's steep for.
It is steep. Yep.
At 55 on DraftKings, too, I think that's a fade for me, just based on his ceiling. I don't know if he can get you 30 points.
I don't know. He's going to be seeing some non-traditional small forwards, similar to himself.
I don't know.
Wayne Ellington.
Yeah, that's a pure GPP play. But I don't know, man.
I'm not high on it at all.
You know what I say? I almost make the case that if Henderson is out, I almost make the case for Justin Anderson over Terrence Ross. Both are punt plays, and why not save 1,500?
For who? You go to Justin Anderson?
Instead of Terrence Ross, yeah.
I'm not high on either one of those guys, man. I think TJ Warren's probably the cheapest guy, again, that I feel comfortable with. You can make the case for Chris Middleton, I think, at 6K, obviously, with what he does in the peripherals. If he's going to play 30 minutes, that is. So that is yet to be seen. And the only other guy I kind of really like today at small forward is Gordon Hayward.
Someone just mentioned that Terrence Ross is the leading shot taker on the Magic. How is that a punt?
It's only 3 games, man.
Because all he does, it's only 3 games, and all he does is shoot. That's all he does, man. So you're banking on his shots going in. And to me, if his shots aren't falling, you're not going to get anything from him. So
yeah, it's pure GPP play.
Yeah, I don't think you can view his number of shots is that being a lock or a must
It is
play?
cool that they're letting him take shots, though. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
for
that's
sure. I
they
mean,
traded for him. Let's see what he can do.
Harrison Barnes against Memphis. I think that's the one play I look at on the Dallas side, only because Memphis struggles against small forwards, and I believe I thought I saw a notification. I could be wrong about Noel starting tomorrow.
No, he is.
Okay, so Noel
That's what I
starting.
got. He's a
Noel's
likely start. He was supposed to start last game, but he missed the plane or something, and then started the second half.
So that'll put Dirk back at 4 and Harrison at the 3, which I like a lot more in this game. I like Harrison at the 3 a lot more than the 4, which removes Dirk from the equation completely, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who to look at. I mean, obviously I'm okay with just fading this game. Yeah, I guess Barnes would be the guy.
And he's been playing well. He has. He's been hot recently. So someone to look at. You mentioned Chris Middleton. He's only 53 on FanDuel. That is a good price tag for him.
Again, if he's going to play 30 minutes, I don't see why 53 is out of the question. But I don't know if he's going to play 30 minutes with these Bucks, man. They're on a.
Well, that's the problem. Is again, you can't bank on anyone for minutes in the Bucks.
No, not at all.
So you got to make a decision there. But 5,300, the upside is there, right? We've seen his upside, and like you mentioned, he has peripherals. So Beasley's still out. Teletovic, no thank you. Snell, no thank you. LeBron James against Atlanta. I like that play a lot. DraftKings is hard. FanDuel is much easier at 10-8.
Yeah, I could. I mean, I'm going to pay for LeBron. I got to love it. And it's almost like Westbrook's status. I mean, if I want to pay for Westbrook, I really got to love it.
You're talking from a DraftKings perspective, right?
Yeah. I mean, Atlanta's a bottom 5 team for small forwards in DVP over the season, so he's got the best matchup on his team. He obviously has 2 triple-doubles in his last 3 games, so the dude's balling. He's playing big minutes. It's like 35 since the All-Star break, or 38 since the All-Star break in each game at least. So, again, it's like Westbrook. If you're fading LeBron, it comes with the price sometimes.
I like LeBron in tomorrow's game. I do. I think, especially on FanDuel, that's a fair price. I think you can roster that, expect 50 points. 50, or I shouldn't say.
Can you cash LeBron on DraftKings?
Ooh.
Because LeBron's normally one of my studs that I look at in cash a lot. I've cashed LeBron a lot as far as my high price stud, and I don't know that I can.
11-2 is hard.
I don't know if I can safely do that.
11-2 is hard.
I said, I think I'm thinking about cashing Kyrie instead.
Yeah, you might want to go more balanced tomorrow and looking at the stud prices, 13-3 for Westbrook or 13-1, whatever he is, and then 11-2 for LeBron.
Yeah.
I think LeBron is a great cash play in FanDuel, though. 10-8, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's still, it's only $400 cheaper, so.
Yeah, but you have to remember you're also getting 10,000 less to work with. That's where I kind of look at it.
No, you're right.
Jay Crowder against the Lakers is someone you can look at, but you know who I really like from this game, Mike, is Brandon Ingram at 3,800 on FanDuel.
I think I'm going to leave Brandon Ingram alone today. I can see I know what you're getting at. I just, I guess, if you're talking about small forward punts, there really is nobody else. I got nobody else in my player pool. Let me look. No. Wayne Ellington is one guy I have.
Yeah, you can look there. I actually really like a Lakers
Hollis
mini
Jefferson is another guy I have.
You can look there. Again, Utah, that's tough. I don't know if I want to go there. But I like a little Lakers mini stack tomorrow with Russell, Ingram, and Randall. Or even Nance, if you want to go some value.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game to target. I agree. Maybe it's your late slate magic, man.
I don't believe in that, Mike. We know that. I don't believe in that late night hammer stuff.
I'm just saying. Seem to be cashing those late slates, so.
Telling you, man, it's all numbers in the end. That nothing irritates me more than that. I hear that shit all the time. Late night hammer, late night hammer.
What about Gordo?
Oh, I love Gordon Hayward tomorrow.
He had, I think, 46 or 40 or something like that.
Especially
No,
if
yeah, 46 versus Brooklyn earlier the year. No hood.
I was just gonna say, especially if there's no hood. Yeah, absolutely, man. Gordon Hayward's a good play.
7,600. I mean, you playing Melo or Hayward?
That's not even a question, Mike. Utah at home, New York on the road. Give me Gordon Hayward.
I still lean Utah players in cash. I tend to, I don't know, pivot off of them in tournaments, but in certain tournament formats like single entries or I don't know. I guess Brooklyn. I don't know. I can make an exception here.
Gotta go. I think Gordon Hayward's a good play tomorrow. Love Hayward
Yeah,
tomorrow.
agree. I think you can. I think the Hill Hayward Gobert stack is
In
in
play.
play
Absolutely.
for cheap.
You got to look at Surge against Washington again. I like him more than Keefe on FanDuel, very similar price. 600 more on DraftKings, but
Yeah, they'll be matched up with each other.
yep. Thank you. Anthony Davis against San Antonio. I don't know if I go there, man. Well, I'm not going there on FanDuel. 10-9 is way too much for Anthony Davis tomorrow because you don't know who's gonna get the usage out of him and Boogie. 9-4 on DraftKings puts him into consideration, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean when you're looking at him and Isaiah Thomas at the same price, like
You go Isaiah, no doubt.
makes it interesting. I think, but yeah, I think I'm gonna not play Davis or Boogie tomorrow.
You know who I'm looking at though, especially on DraftKings, 6,100 LaMarcus Aldridge, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not playing him. I was like on him last game and didn't do anything for me. So
That means he's gonna come out and have a good
I
game
feel like
tomorrow.
I don't know. I just feel like he's significantly underperformed for the majority of this season.
He has, and nobody's gonna be on him tomorrow. Everyone thinks Anthony Davis is gonna have lockdown defense. I'm telling you, man, don't sleep. LaMarcus Aldridge is gonna go low on tomorrow, and I think he's gonna have a really nice game.
Perhaps, but I'm not going to play him. I'd rather play Markieff Morris, same price.
Nah, LaMarcus Aldridge.
I'd rather play James Johnson for cheaper if Deion Waiters is out.
If Deion Waiters is out, yes. Deion Waiters is out, yes. I agree with you. But Aldridge, just saying, he's gonna have a nice game tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Mike. That's all I'm saying.
I hope so, man.
Enes Kanter against Phoenix. Yes. Same price. Yes. Give me Enes Kanter tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good, man.
Give me Enes Kanter tomorrow, especially on DraftKings, man. 5,400. Yeah, man.
But
you got to look at Taj
yeah,
Gibson too, man. Taj Gibson got some minutes tonight. I'm telling you.
yeah, his price is not going to move tomorrow. Back to back, doesn't really scare me much. With him,
he can be a value play.
Could be, yeah. Under 4K, I think I get behind it.
They traded for him for a reason, right? Like he was a starter in Chicago, so it wouldn't make sense for him to not get any run. And they gave away LeBron, so it's not like he really doesn't have a spot, right? I think they just have to find the minutes for him.
They needed a defensive presence in the front court off the bench, and that's what he provides. Because Kanter,
Yeah. Sarge against New York, definitely in play. 7,300. I mean, he's proven at this point that he can get you 40 points.
Yeah, I feel like hopping on Saric after a bad game. I think that might be a good call. Similar to what we said about Terrence Ross having a bad game, Maybe everybody's now jumping off of Dario, Super Dario.
Super Dario.
The fact that he's a center eligible on DraftKings is like...
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to me. Are you on Kristaps at all
Can you
tomorrow?
imagine him playing center?
No. Are you on Kristaps at all? Or you think that's point chasing tomorrow? Price hasn't really gone up.
Yeah, I think I could get behind Kristaps tomorrow.
Who's gonna? I don't think there's really anyone to stop him, especially if he starts at center again, which Hernan Gomez is doubtful.
But again, everybody's in the same price range with Serge, Markieff Morris, LaMarcus Aldridge, James Johnson, Kristaps. I mean, you throw Saric in there. I mean, this mid-range tier, it's going to be a tough decision. I think Porzingis just doesn't make the cut for me.
You mentioned Rashawn Holmes. See, I don't know, man. That 4,800 on DraftKings, that's too steep for me. 4,600 on FanDuel, even that I think is a little too steep. James Johnson is 1,400 more, and he's only 800 more on DraftKings. I think you go there easily.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just saying, I don't. If I fall to Rashawn Holmes, I'm not going to try and find someone else at that price.
You're not gonna be upset. Okay. Aaron Gordon against Miami. Yeah, I think you can look there.
Yeah, what did he do last game? I know he played. I don't know. I should know these things.
Zach Randolph against Dallas. I'm not really gonna go there, but he could have a nice game. Nerlens Noel against Marc Gasol, I think, is a fade for me. Blake Griffin versus Milwaukee is definitely something you can look at, especially after his bad game last time out.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, who they got at power forward? I think he's still overpriced, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but his upside is there.
It is. I don't know if I'm paying up at power forward, though. I think I'm going to stick with that mid-range. I think there's a lot of legit plays there.
I feel like DraftKings tomorrow, because of how high priced the stars are, I think you go mid-range. I don't think Westbrook's going to be in the winning lineup.
No, I don't think so either, to be honest with you. 13K is rough. There's a lot of good plays here at mid-range, especially, like we said, power forward here. And then center as we get to that, too.
Mike brings up a good point. Are you nervous about Avery Bradley guarding D'Angelo Russell? He did guard Kyrie for quite a bit of the game, so the fourth quarter specifically.
Yeah, they don't like playing Isaiah Thomas on the primary ball handler.
That makes sense.
Handler.
Yeah, you bring up a good point.
Well,
you bring up a good point, Mike from the chat. So
I'm still not nervous about it. No, I think he's still a tournament play. He's definitely not someone I'm going to cash. He's under 7K, and he possesses 50-point upside. And
especially with Bradley on a minutes restriction. That makes it more of an in-play play for me. I'm a little less, now that you bring up that point and I think about it, I'm a little less on him as a lock, but Avery will probably sit most of the second quarter, probably start the third, and finish the game in the fourth, which gives you a good amount of time with D'Angelo without Avery. But with that said, Mike, I'm not going to look at Theo's comment, but does that put Nick Young in play?
So Nick Young last game, he hit 5 shots. They were all threes, and didn't have an assist or a rebound. That's just his role in this team. If the rebounds come to him, they do. He's not looking to make plays. He's a tournament play. He is, man. He's always going to be underpriced.
Always a tournament play. But if he's going to get Isaiah defense, I mean, you can look there.
I'm not excited about it.
Julius Randle, only 6,300 on FanDuel. Yes.
I think I'd rather play Korver than Swaggy P today.
I can agree with you there.
Julius Randle, his price is...
Bro, 6,300 on FanDuel is fair. 6,800 on DraftKings, I like him less. But 6,300 on FanDuel.
I'm just saying, Kyle, I mean, we've been doing the show a while. His price has hovered around 6K pretty much since the time we've been doing the show, and we haven't talked about Julius Randle pretty much ever. So
yeah, he's underperformed this year. He has, but you
so one good game's got you floating on air. I'm just like, nah.
I've liked Julius Randle. I liked him a lot in the beginning of the year, before we were doing Phenom, and I love him against Boston, man. I mean, I think this goes more of a Amir Johnson game. Would you agree?
I'm not going to go there, man. I'm lost as to what they're doing in the front court with between those guys, and so
I think it profiles as
it seems to
Amir
be spread
Johnson.
out.
Yeah, I think it profiles Amir Johnson, but I don't know, man. I don't think there's anyone, regardless of who it is, that can match up against Randall. I'm not going to say stop him because Randall can stop himself, but matchup wise, I don't think there's anyone on Boston that matches up with him.
Yeah, logically speaking, it should be a great game for him, but
He
I
can
don't know. He
go.
somewhat defies logic, in my opinion, and
I agree. He's not a cash play by any means, but I just think that at 6,300, the upside is there, and you see he has the talent. He clearly has the talent. Now, is he going to string it together for a consecutive game? I don't know. I'm not going to. I won't sit here and bet the bank on it, but
well, let's put it this way. Again, we just talked about it. There's at least 6 guys in this 65 to 75 range that we think are in good spots.
okay. Let me say this.
I don't know that I want to play the guy that is coming off a great game on a 10-game slate.
Here's what I will say. I will play Ennis Cantor before I play Julius Randle. Matchup, homerism aside from Ennis Cantor, he has the matchup. But I think he even has a better matchup than Julius Randle. And James Johnson gets serious consideration if Deion Waiters is out. I think that's where I play Julius over Zach Randolph. I play Julius over Saric at that price of 7,300, and
What about Ibaka?
I play Julius over Ibaka for 600 less. Unless if this is the last spot I have, and it's between
Whatever the same price.
if they're the same price, I play Ibaka. I think Ibaka is safer
Because
tomorrow.
that's where you're at on DraftKings, and that's a tough call, I guess. I don't know.
So I like
Not high in Randall at 6,800.
no on DraftKings. Like I said, I'd like him less on DraftKings, but on FanDuel, 6,300, man. With the upside, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna cash him. Here's what let me put it this way, Mike. Surge is a cash play. Randall is a GPP play. Is that fair?
I guess. I don't know. I'm hoping that Deion Waiters doesn't play so I can play some James Johnson. If not, I might go just cheap. I might look at who am I looking at? I might just go to Taj. I think Taj and Nance are the same price. Who would you go with?
Man, I don't know. That's a toss up. I think I go Nance.
Maybe some Trevor Booker revenge game in Utah, 4,300. That's pretty cheap for Trevor Booker. I mean,
I was just bro, and Trevor Booker played on Utah. Narrative, back in Utah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might take a punt. I think if I'm gonna cash at power forward, if Waiters plays, I think I'm just gonna go Markieff Morris
So on the
at
flip
61
side, on FanDuel, can you go Derek
or
Favors?
Holmes. You can, yeah.
Definitely got to look at Derek Favors against Brooklyn, right? Anyone.
I mean, everybody in Utah is in play. Yeah. All seriousness, everyone on Utah is in play.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I just got to mention this because we're on center now, and it made me think of Al Horford. Theo, get in slack because we have our bet to finish. So I know you haven't forgotten. But anyways, back to the show. Gortat against Toronto. I don't think I'm going to look there, especially with the other guys around there.
Yeah, both of these guys have been limited. I mean, I think Mahindi outplayed minutes-wise Gortat last game. Obviously, it was a big blowout, so, but still, that's unprecedented for the season. So,
Cousins against San Antonio. I think I fade that. I just don't know. I don't know where to go, and on this slate, I'd rather play it safe at center.
yeah, I don't know about Boogie today. 9,200 though. We haven't seen that from Boogie in a long time.
That's cheap. Steven Adams against Phoenix. Bad game today. I think he only had like 7 or 8 FanDuel points. You can look at Steven Adams tomorrow. Steven Adams in play against that Phoenix front court.
No, I'm not playing Steven Adams tomorrow. I think with Cancer being back, he's just I don't know.
Well,
Blah.
like I said, don't listen to me on Sanders. So, listen to Mike.
With Kenner being back, I think. I mean, Kenner's usage is like up to 30% off the bench, and he's playing some minutes with both. And then you look at Westbrook, whose his usage is like 40-some%, and that just limits what Adams is doing. You know, his role in the offense is just not one of creating his own shot like Cancer's is.
Vucevic against Hassan. I like Hassan. I'm not really liking on the road. I think I'm going to go Vooch, especially. I'm going to go out and say Vooch outscores Hassan Whiteside tomorrow.
I'll take that bet. I'll go with Hassan over Vooch. I think they're both in good spots, though.
Okay.
Hassan Whiteside has 6 games of 15-plus rebounds in his last 10.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
I think Vooch outscores him, though. That's where I'm going. Marcus Gasol against Dallas. I mean, you can look there, but against Noel. Actually, no, I'm not afraid of Noel. No, I like Gasol tomorrow, 8,400. I think he's safe. Gasol's safe for probably 35 points.
Yeah, again, I'm just comfortable fading this game.
I agree. I'm not going to play him. I'm just, throwing out analysis.
Yeah, he'd be the guy I'd look at, too.
DeAndre Jordan against Milwaukee. No, there's other plays I like better. Dwight Howard against Cleveland, no thank you. Tristan Thompson against Atlanta, no thank you. Al Horford, though. My boy Al Horford.
I think Tristan Thompson at 5,100 is intriguing.
6,100 on FanDuel. I'd rather pay 6,000 for Al Horford.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A $1,000 price difference is that's probably the biggest price difference we've seen today. It's interesting.
I'm telling you, man. Al Horford is going to have a nice game against LA. He's back. He's better. He was my sneaky play last time. And I got a center right. So
I think Al Horford's upside depends on his assist numbers. It's like I was saying with Isaiah Thomas earlier. If he's going to be just having one of those games where he is getting to the hoop, and he's limited to like 2 to 5 assists, perhaps those numbers go to Horford.
Olynyk? Is Olynyk a punt tomorrow?
I can't put my finger on what they're doing. Yeah, I think if I was going to punt any one of those guys, it'd be him.
All right, and then finally, Mr. Gobert. Definitely got to look at Mr. Gobert tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of missed shots from Brooklyn equals
a lot of rebounds.
Shitload of rebounds, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I think Gobert's firmly in cash game consideration tomorrow.
And again, he'll always go low owned because he's not sexy. He doesn't do anything crazy. So.
Yeah, I think I would. If I'm playing FanDuel, I think I'd lock him in cash at center. What about you?
I can agree with you on that. And then Vooch is my tournament play. Al Horford is in tournament play. So.
Yeah.
Brook Lopez in consideration for tournament. I mean, he's going to drag
His
Gobert.
Price, man. 5,900.
On DraftKings, yeah. On FanDuel, it's a little harder. I think I just pay it for Gobert. But on DraftKings, man, that's enticing.
I mean, the dude does not rebound the ball.
No.
I could see him coming away with 2 rebounds today, so I'm off of it. It just kind of solidifies my love for Rudy on this slate.
He could also get you 8 threes.
No, he can. No, he definitely will spread the floor, but they don't care. They'll just keep Gobert in the paint. They'll give him his threes. Gobert had 46 against Brooklyn last time they played in Brooklyn. 46 DraftKings.
He should definitely have a nice game. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you tuning in again. I know it's a late show. Mike has to go get ready for work, so not gonna have anything crazy tonight at the end of the show. Definitely a big slate. Again, I encourage you guys, if you're not fully comfortable, and even if you are, I still caution you, again, teams are trying all sorts of different things. Dare I say tanking. So you're going to see guys that wouldn't normally play. You're going to see guys that would normally play a lot of minutes, get less minutes, things like that, like a Tyson Chandler. Just things to look out for. So expect the unexpected, and don't be surprised if things don't go how you expect them to more than normal.
Another couple takeaways as far as value plays. I did notice that Hollis Thompson, for some reason, played 40 minutes for the Pelicans last game. If you buy into that at all.
No boogie though. No boogie though.
There was no Boogie. I guess he was the only guy that was out. I didn't really watch much of the game, but still, it's interesting. And then talked about Swaggy P. Let's see, is there really anybody else? I think we kind of covered it, man. Again, tomorrow, I think going balance is okay. There's only 3 guys on DraftKings 10K and above, and I'm not super in love with any of them. Mm-hmm. I definitely recommend having at least 2 point guards in your lineup on DraftKings, and having 3 is probably something I'm going to have do a lot tomorrow. And then kind of just choosing where you're going to pay up on the wings, if at all. I think you can stick mid-range, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and just kind of focus your salary, point guard, shooting or center on DraftKings, and come away with a pretty nice line.
I agree. I think you do. I think you go point guard heavy tomorrow. I think you can, at least 2, probably maybe 3 point guards tomorrow. There's just a lot of good options. Is maybe tomorrow a 3 point guard, 2 center slate?
No, it could be. Definitely could be.
So, something to look at. As always, guys, the Slack group, I'm telling you guys, it's well worth everything. If you got nothing but the Slack group, I'm telling you it's worth it. But if you don't believe me, give it a free trial. You get 7 days free. Everything that you hear about, that you see, you get 100% pure access, or full access, I should say, by signing up for the trial. And then all you have to do is cancel if you don't like it. But I almost promise you will. And
that, and if you're in the Slack group, do us a solid, man. Let everybody else know how cool it is.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot of guys talking about it. They love it. So let us know. Also, we're working on a survey that if you guys are interested in helping us, we're trying to find out what we can improve on. So we're working on getting that generated for you guys. So we'll post it in Slack, and of course, just if it's something you feel like filling out, fill it out for us. No pressure, but definitely helps us kind of tailor where we're going with the company and what we need to focus on to make this.
It'll kind of give you a little hint to things we're looking at too. We'll kind of ask like, would you be interested in this or this?
Yeah, so kind of some options.
We'll just decide to go ahead and launch.
Yeah, so we're looking at potential options to include in as part of the subscription. So again, you just keep getting more, but we're just trying to get things. We're trying to figure out where we should invest our time and money in that sense as well, of how we can keep making it better for you guys. So your opinions definitely matter on the survey. So check out those. Again, I'm just no pressure to do them, but if you get a chance, they're going to be appreciated. So.
Yep, y'all the boss. Keep it up.
So thank you guys. Have a wonderful night. We will talk to you in Slack, and look forward to some updated sheets later on during the day. Have fun at work, buddy.
All right, thanks.